Emission factors are representative values that quantify the environmental impact of different products and processes. They are a crucial part of calculating a carbon footprint. Different greenhouse gases have different global warming potentials. In order to account for all the main greenhouse gases in our calculations, emissions are generally converted to a unit known as carbon dioxide equivalents, which takes carbon dioxide as a base unit and includes the impact of all the other greenhouse gases and their relative global warming potentials. Emission factors are generally expressed as the weight of emitted carbon dioxide equivalents divided by a reference unit, such as the weight, volume, distance, duration, a financial unit, or even a custom unit unique to the scenario. Emission factors form the baseline for all carbon footprint calculations. They provide an estimate for the environmental impact of raw materials and other activities that a company may not be able to calculate for themselves. For example, while a company manufacturing plastic toys already knows how much plastic is used and how it's processed, it would likely use an emission factor for the plastic to calculate the emissions per toy. A product's emissions are calculated by multiplying the emission factor with the activity data, which means it's not possible to calculate a carbon footprint based on the emission factor alone. The plastic toy manufacturer would also need to provide activity data of the production process. Hence, it's important to understand that an emission factor is an estimation based on calculations using data and assumptions from studies. In some cases, the numbers represent a market average and will be different from the plastic our toy manufacturer actually uses. For this reason, replacing emission factors with primary data will improve the accuracy of carbon footprints. Using primary data means that the calculated emissions are specific to the product or activity. For our toy company, primary data would be the specific emissions from the exact plastic manufacturer that supplies the plastic used to produce the toys. Emission factors are necessarily conservative estimates because they account for all the variations within a category. Therefore, using primary data will often result in a smaller carbon footprint. Every little bit of primary data that can be included in your calculations will provide a more accurate estimate. This is a process and can be done emission factor by emission factor. But the more primary data you get from your supply chain, the more accurate your carbon footprint baseline will be, which subsequently makes it easier to implement emission reductions. Kick off your climate action strategy now.